Yo, what's up, world? Real quick, we gonna dive right into it. Um, we gonna dive right into it. So, THF Bayzoo, Chicago rapper, connected to Lil Durk and OTF. It looks like it looked like bro was shot. We trying to see what was going on with him and get to the bottom of it, right?
You want to support me? Go to Nene Marie 37 on IG and purchase a signed copy of my book. That's how you support me. Make sure you smash the like button. Go right now and follow me on TikTok at Trenches News 383. Oh, it's your boy Trenches News, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Appreciate all the support. Thanks for everyone who subscribed to the channel. If you ain't subbed to my channel, make sure you do. Make sure you join the membership. Shout out to all my mom. Remember, if you got anything extra, I said extra, not food, hygiene, clothes, bag it up, take it outside, and give it to the less fortunate. Remember, we all one step away from being homeless. I don't care how much money you got or you think you got. Mother Nature could come and destroy everything, and now you homeless. So make sure you get back. With that being said, let's say the kids, the women, the elderly, the neutrons, and the yo, it's Saturday, y'all. Remember, your local police department or CPD can't save you, so make sure you keep your head on the swivel. All right, y'all. I got one story for y'all. One major story is breaking news, man. THF Bayzoo and two others have been shot, man. It's being reported that THF Bayzoo has been shot. Make sure you hit that like button so the video get around. If you got Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Facebook, Market, Bayzoo, hook it up. All right, y'all. So it's being reported that THF Bayzoo and two others are hospitalized, man, after a drive-by shooting. Now, this coming from somebody that worked in a hospital, so I'm going to have to take it as it's true. THF Bayzoo has been reportedly shot, and they said two of them is
When I first seen this story and they was passing it around on Facebook, on social media, I had seen blogs reporting that Bayzoo had died. So I'm glad that there's some content creators out there putting out the real information because it was crazy, and the way that they was taunting the man underneath the post, you could tell Bayzoo made a lot of enemies as well as friends. So
critical. Now, I don't know if THF Bayzoo in critical condition. I don't know if the other two. Now, this comes after a lot of woofing on the internet, man. You know, I ain't saying Liz A them did it or none of that, but Zoo them been coming out and they been dissing everybody. You know, a lot of people been dead. You know, Lil Schoon just got killed. They was dissing him. And this what happens when you diss.
Luscombe, I thought Luscombe already died. I think he talking about DMG School. Uh, what's the name partner? Lizzie partner. I guess they call him Lil Scoom too. It's a lot of schooming going on around Chicago, man.
Bayzoo name has been brought up in the Lil Durk paperwork, man. And I just told Bayzoo, sent them a message and said, Bayzoo, man, you need to run, man. But I guess he ain't run. He's still floating around.
You need to run, man. As if he's just gonna listen to your message and shit. Out of all the messages, that man probably got 1,000 DMs from 1,000 different people, and he's supposed to listen to yours talking about running. Yeah, all right.
Chicago being the chief that Lil Durk say he is, and all his raps, Zoo the chief. And he running around here like a mad dog going wild, man. But they saying that three of them have been shot doing a drive-by. I think it's up north. It say on St. Louis or out west. I don't really know, man. But I know he in the hospital. A person in the hospital text me. Shout out to that person, man, that said that THF Bayzoo is in the hospital, man. He seen them being brought in.
Damn, just think about that though. Just pause and think about that for a second. Somebody was able to see you in a local hospital in Chicago after you got shot by your quote unquote ops or whoever did it, and they was able to text somebody else that you was at the location that you was at. Like this is the culture of what goes on in all types of neighborhoods across America, but in Chicago particularly, like no lacking became a thing because it was so many ways that you could lack, and so many people got killed in Chicago so many different ways because you're exposed at the end of the day, and it's about trying not to be exposed. So Chicago makes your mind um basically on warfare time 24/7. It's almost like you paranoid. Me and my cousin used to say that we not lacking so hard, or we on the no lacking shit so hard that people would think that we was paranoid. But the whole time we just being safe. You know what I'm saying? So this is the culture that Chicago creates. I just want to give y'all context to that.
On the gurney, man. So make sure y'all keep your eyes and ears open out there, man. If they can get Zoo, they can get anybody, man.
If they can get Zoo, they can get you. God damn it, y'all need to chill out in Chicago, and you know, and Zoo kind of flipped the Sorry, I keep pausing, dude, because I do want to hear his message, but Zoo is one of those people who is knee deep in the streets. Everybody know his background. Everybody knows THF Zoo background, and the whole thing of it is over the years he's shown progress in trying to do something else, despite what's going on in Chicago, despite his background and despite his ties to the streets. He's a Muslim at the end of the day, so he's trying to push peace, but at the same time, it's people that'll cost you, right? And you got these blood ties, these blood beefs, so it's like stuff gets sticky with it. So it's kind of crazy to watch how it works out.
This comes after a long, Zoo them, OTF them. They've been on top. They've been out of town, making all the money and bullying people. And when you got to come back to your city, it's back to the trenches. It's back to where it's deadly at. Now you got to adapt to it. Now you ain't used to being in the field no more. Zoo them been out of town, man. They been in Atlanta and all that. They ain't been in no field, man. They been chilling. And now that they back in the field, it's all up there, man.
He actually not lying. I'm not. Hey, I'm gonna be real, bro. Not lying. He actually 1,000% valid on that point. Like, because when you come back to Chicago after being gone so long, you got to realize everything that you had yourself involved in before you left and went on your journey of whatever it is that you're doing. Chicago is still going 24/7. The culture is still going. You know what I'm saying? As far as what's going on with that in the streets. So when you decided you want to stop, you want to pray, you want to become a Muslim, these cats that's still in the streets, they not stopping. These young soldiers, they ain't stopping. They still got it going 24/7. The war is still going. So while they strengthening they warfare tactics and you chilling, this is the result when you come back to the field, like bro said.
Up there, and people are looking to scope, man. Like I said, I just sent Bayzoo a message and told him to run, man. His name was brought up in the paperwork. They were saying that him, Boona, and Lil Durk and them was planning to kill old block members. Said they was planning to kill Lamron members. So you don't know, never know who did this. But one thing about Chicago, the ops will come out and the ops will let it be known in Chicago if they did it or if they didn't, man. So we'll be.
And that's the whole thing about it, right? Ops. Man, it may not be your recognized or who you deemed as an op, but anybody that's shooting at you is an op. I don't care if you considered them a friend before. That nigga is now an op.
Man, but Bayzoo and whoever else in the hospital, man, if they make it, hopefully they'll learn from this and try to get out of town, man, instead of saying I ain't gotta leave the rack, I'm the king of the rack. Nobody's the king of this city. Anybody could get killed.
Say that again. Nobody is the king of Chicago. Anybody can get it. You are not invincible. Not me, not you, not nobody.
Nobody run this city, not one block. And if you think you do, you crazy, man. But yeah, it has been reported that THF Bayzoo and 2 others have been shot, man. OTF just been getting patched up lately, man. You got Duty Low got shot. Boona, he ran to somebody's house with 4 others for $3,000. I mean, you can't even divide that shit, man. It don't even add up to nothing. And then you got Lil Durk and his crew gone. Then you got them saying that they backdoor people and try to backdoor people. Man, it's just all crazy, man. The downfall of OTF, THF, and the rest of them, man.
Smooth legal cannabis. It's real.
Bad though, I ain't gonna lie. OTF it seemed like they've been facing a lot of hardships since Durk got locked up. I hope they pull through that. I don't want to see nobody go.
Man, you know, they said Zoo is shot. Y'all heard it here first, man. Hey, if I'm wrong, man, remember I said reportedly, man, but they said 3 members have been shot, man, and they said that THF Bayzoo is definitely.
Hold on. You can't go from if you wrong, then whatever, to previously in the video, you just said you had somebody from the hospital text you that THF Bayzoo was there. So if this is cap, then you got to check the person that sent you that information, gang. You can't have them running around just sending false information, bro. And you can't just be reporting that shit the minute that you hear it. See, I'm just doing a reaction video, so I'm just reacting to what the streets are saying. I'm not trying to give hardcore evidence or facts so that I know this happened to this person. You know what I'm saying? All this shit is alleged.
Man, so make sure y'all be aware y'all surroundings, man. It's deadly in the city. Stop thinking it's a game. The mayor, the governor, they said that it's safe in the city and that we don't need military, man. But I'm steady seeing that people is getting knocked off left and right. The 5 guys, it took 5 guys to go and kill a guy named Lil Dave. And
well, the thing about it, I'm gonna let him get his message off about the Lil Dave thing, but what the mayor and the governor is saying, and in hindsight, what they saying is Chicago is safe for the average person, not these people that are from Chicago like us, from the South and West sides. They got personal beefs, gang conflicts. You know what I'm saying? All that shit is personal. That's people that know each other, grew up with each other, had beefs, and you get what I'm saying? It's rare that these people running around just putting the belt on innocent civilians. You know what I'm saying? It's just not like that. So.
And they went on a mission for nothing because they dropped their phone and pulled off. So after they dropped their phone and pulled off, homicide and the detectives pulled right up, taped it off, got the phone, and now they just been waiting to be searched for, grabbed, and processed in. You know what I'm talking about, for the rest of their life, man. And that was crazy about the Lil Dave situation, man. But it's going on. It's killing. It's for nothing though. They ain't doing it. They doing it for nothing really. I mean, you can say it's get back and you know they lost people, but it's really for nothing. Cause when you go to jail, just think about how D Rose in jail right now. D Rose got a GoFundMe. This D Rose 600. Don't make me call D.
And D Rose is in jail for some shit that he didn't even do. Supposedly, that's what the streets say. He got like 40 years for a murder that he did not commit. But that's because his reputation preceded him, supposedly, and what he was out there doing. So when you make a name for yourself on some negative shit gonna come to follow. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't saying the brother deserved that. Free him if he didn't do that. So it's just crazy. This breakdown is valid though. This breakdown, what he's saying, is valid.
But he had D Rose in jail right now. D Rose got a GoFundMe. This D Rose 600. Don't make me call D Rose boy. He's 600 boy, and he keep that pole boy. But he can't get $16,000 from a lawyer from these guys who.
He wild. Hey, he wild. That was a little trollish. Trenches. You gotta slow down, bro.
And famous, man. If that don't let you know to get out the street, the D Rose 600 situation, man, you just blinded by all the lights and you fanned it out and you just want to be like them until you go down like them, man. But just remember, man, if you don't go the straight way, man, hey, you gonna go downstairs, man, under the ground, man, under the pavement. This is your news. Hey, make sure y'all go and get like.
He looked like he didn't even believe that shit when he said that. We gonna get to the next video. I want to see.
Smarter energy, smarter security, smarter home. Vivint and Reliant, smarter together.
We got more information on THF Bayzoo and the shooting today that almost cost his life. Look, I don't know if people realize, like I said, because the news goes so fast and, you know, a lot of people be saying get well and shit like that. Dude was almost a pack today. He almost lost his life in a targeted hit that looks like a targeted hit. Looked like somebody was focused on trying to kill him. Hit the like button. Gold on this video, 1,000 likes. You know, reports broke that he got shot. A lot more information coming out. First off, you know, We know Bayzoo from the low end and shit, and we know he got connections with the south side. But this shooting happened on the west side of Chicago.
Damn, it's a 3 shot, 3130 South St. Louis. Where's St. Louis at? 3130 South. I'm a Chicagoan, so I'll be trying to break down like where this address was at. St. Louis. I'm trying to think. It'll come to me. But damn, he must be the 35-year-old shot in the abdomen and the torso because they say he got shot in the chest. Damn. Nah, they ain't never put the male 42 shot in the ass. hey, Chicago scandal, wow.
You know, that's kind of crazy because even Dirk saying
The
this.
rest of these they use in like medical terminologies: abdomen, torso. Then they just say ass. They didn't say buttocks. They didn't say
You know, you gonna get snakes trying to hang with different blocks. I know my city, you know, and he be saying that shit, and you be around him, you know. Being in different neighborhoods and shit, I think at this point in time is dangerous, especially with the face card that everybody got, you know. So seeing that he was on St. Louis, on the west side of Chicago, which is very dangerous. Like I say, man, it's almost like the devil then found him an apartment and got him a 2-year lease on the west side, and he just walking around that boy, you know, because the violence.
he ain't lying though. It definitely be like an evil spirit lingering amongst Chicago. But at the same time, I'm a person that's spiritual, very spiritual, but at the same time, I'm a person that's rooted in the reality of what's going on here while we living, right? And the thing about it is, we got to recognize the white supremacy that's going on in Chicago, the police genocide, the gentrification, the constant drugs and guns dumped into the city by officials. Because we as citizens, most of us don't even leave Chicago. We're not gun manufacturers. We're not drug manufacturers. All that shit comes from outside sources, and it's deliberately put in our neighborhoods. It's concentrated in our neighborhoods. You don't see that shit on the Gold Coast in Chicago, one of the richest zip codes around the world. You see that shit in the South and West Side neighborhoods, some of them quote unquote concentrated poor neighborhoods. So at the end of the day, this shit is a setup. I'm recognizing what he's saying about the spirituality, but there's a duality in that, right? You can't just focus on the spiritual realm, even though that is very important. You got to realize that it's evil entities in human form, aka white supremacy, that is suppressing Chicago, and they using blackface like a Brandon Johnson, a Lori Lightfoot, to carry out a white agenda that's fucking the city over, and been doing that for years.
That's over there rampant as hell. I actually grew up on the west side, you know, the Austin community. And I spent over 10, 15 years in a little village, North Lawndale community, where THF Bayzoo was shot at. You know, he was shot in that North Lawndale little village community. You know, that neighborhood dangerous as hell, you know. You don't really feel it growing up and living over there. You become one of the homeboys and shit. But we noticed that. And it's other things leaked that it was several guns used in this shooting. Now, we don't know if people were shooting back, but the police found rifle casings, 9mm cases, and all kind of shit. It was several guns out there. And there was 5 cars that were shot from gunfire. Blah, 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 blah. Motherfuckers shooting from all kind of areas and shit like that. And
None of these gun noises be crazy. They be in the comments on his ass.
multiple cars were struck with gunfire. Now, this is another thing that's coming out that's even more crazier than that. You know, it was several people that was shot. Several people was shot during this altercation. You know, a matter of fact,
This real quick. Yeah, man. Bayzoo is like I said earlier, Bayzoo be trying to push the peace. I know he still got street ties, but he is a Muslim, and he is part of the unity movement in Chicago. The unity movement is spearheaded basically by the Muslims in Chicago, but it's not a religious movement. It's a movement to bring everybody together in the city and stop the violence. You know what I'm saying? And these brothers have been going to different neighborhoods and curating that peace. You know what I'm saying? Bringing people together and they bringing real faces, real face cards from Chicago that are tied to the streets, and they are getting these brothers on this agenda to push this piece. So I don't like that this happened to Bayzoo. I understand the underlining of what goes on in the streets and why street stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? But get well to the brother Bayzoo for sure.
From Bayzoo being on the west side of Chicago, a lot of people is shook. And what he on the west side of Chicago for? To the point where, you know, it was cars shot, several cars were shot, multiple guns was used and shit in this shooting. Then news broke that it was multiple people shot too. It was a motherfucker that was like 40 years old shot. It was somebody, it was two people that was in their 30s, I believe 39. Zoo is 35 years old. His age broke out on the internet. I don't know if he liked that or not, but looked like his age then broke loose on the internet and shit like that. Looked like it was several people shot. You know, I'm surprised that a lot of these older people, you know.
Bayzoo don't even look 35. I knew he was in his 30s, but I didn't think he was 35. Because he close to Dirk, and Dirk just turned 30. You know what I'm saying? It's no shame in your damn age, man. Your 30s is still mad young. I'm 33, so 30s is still young. That's young as fuck, bro. I just met an 80-year-old man selling me when I was selling product. He bought one of my products, and he was like, yo, never stop doing what you're doing, because I've seen so many musicians, artists, entertainers take this route that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, and he was like, you young as fuck. You got time. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be age shaming Bayzoo, y'all, in the comments, man. Let the man live, Joe.
Still be on that street shit, that game banging shit. You know, these are three motherfuckers that should be at the end of that game banging shit. But it looked like they were calling something. The way the shooting looked at, the way all these bullets is and shit like that, looked like this was a targeted hit. Like somebody was trying to take them out, you know. Zoo looked like he got the face card. News ain't broke yet who the other people was that was shot, but when we get that information, I'm gonna let y'all know on the internet. But subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I'm
Yeah, I'm once again, get well to the brother Bayzoo, man. And y'all like, comment, subscribe over here at the Stoner Trap. We gonna keep dropping videos, man. Y'all come back. Peace.